Mustang Job. I'm gonna bring you along. So I'm gonna wash it with degreaser. This is a brand new OEM bumper. And it's primed. It's primed, so I'm still gonna seal it. But at least I don't have to do the whole plastic procedure on it. Which is great.
Hello. This is your boy, Gabriel Marino from MotivatedPainters.com. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you've taken the time and chose to watch this video. I will talk here and there just to give you guys a little bit of pointers of what I'm doing. For example, right now, other than looking upset, because I'm so busy, so I'm super focused. Whenever I'm focused, I look angry. But I've washed this bumper with prime wash, and I washed it with I think I washed it with water cleaner. I should wash it with water cleaner, but I always wash things at last with water cleaner. I know I've showed you guys some previous videos that I've been using glass cleaner. I really like it. I enjoy it, but I wanted to go and do some of the basic things so people don't get complicated. So what I've been using, what I recommend you use is it's called Calsco Prime Wash. You can't find it online anywhere. You have to get it through your distributor. But if there's any interest in being able to get it online, I'll find out about it. And then I wash with the water cleaner from One Choice, which is PPG, and it's SWX100. And I first wash with the prime wash, which is a degreaser, solvent based, and then I wash with the water. I like doing it with the water because it kind of neutralizes everything, and that's what I use to tack now. I barely use a tack cloth. I just use my microfiber cloth, and it's a little damp from washing the car with water. Now, this is very important. The car needs to be clean before it comes in the booth, okay? The car needs to be clean, needs to be dust free, because then you'll be able to wash them better. You'll be able to see better, and you won't be using as many microfiber cloths. So right now I'm using about 1 microfiber cloth per week. So, and I don't have any fisheye issues, no contamination problems, and that's because I make sure that all the preppers, and they're awesome for this, they wash the car properly before they bring it in the booth. So I'm using a Wacom Slim Combat for sealer. This is the 1.8. Okay, it's a little larger, so I have the needle dialed in. I would prefer the 1.4 or 1.5 for sealer, but this still does amazing, and it lays it down really smooth. I still find myself going back to my Iwata WS400 for sealer, because I feel like it just lays it down smoother, which is what you need when it comes to sealer. Remember, sealer is, the perfect substrate. If you can get your sealer to lay down smooth, then the base coat loves the sealer, the clear coat loves the sealer, because it gives it some cushioning, and also you get stone chip protection from there. So here I am washing with, you know what? Yeah, that's my prime wash bottle. So that's my prime wash. So it's a degreaser. It's not a water cleaner. It's like a solvent cleaner, like a degreaser. So the point is, use something that's going to get rid of any grease. It's going to wash off any Armor All if there's anything, because obviously Armor All is a body shop's nightmare. So make sure that's clean. Notice how I wipe with one side, right? I wet the panel, I wipe with one side, and then flip it over, and then dry with the other side. Microfiber cloths, honestly, if you haven't tried them yet, I have a couple of videos here showing you how I use them. But man, is it ever a life-changing thing? Like, I mean, not really life-changing, but really it would change the way that you do things, because it's so good. It's so amazing the way that it cleans. It grabs everything. You can feel it pulling the dirt out and stuff like that, and I really like it. I really enjoy it. And as some of you know already, this is a highly non-technical YouTube channel. It's just me, a painter, right? Just showing you what I do. Nothing crazy, because I believe that there's a lot of insight and simplicity. So I just really just show you what I do, and hopefully you can learn something, even what not to do. So I wash it with water now, obviously. Remember, clean your paper. Clean your paper, clean your paper, clean your paper. It will make a huge difference when it comes to the cleanliness of this job. This job came out beautiful. I didn't get a chance to videotape it after, but I took a picture with the owner, which his name's Matthew. And Matthew, if you're listening to this, thank you for trusting us with your beautiful Mustang. I really appreciate you coming by. So now I am blowing it off, and you can do this with your bare hands if you have them clean. If not, don't do it. But you want to make sure that you're blowing everything off, because here's the thing: if you really think about it, you're going 32 psi, whatever you're spraying at 30 psi, and you're constantly doing that I see in the video there. So think of all the air that's hitting the car, coming down to the floor, and then going up the walls, and then coming back onto the car. So you want to make sure that you blow everything off really well. So as you can see, obviously I'm letting that sealer dry, because if there's any nips and stuff, I would sand it, but this one was great. So usually you want to do that. You want to let that sealer sit for at least 5 minutes. At least 5 minutes. PPG, I believe, recommends 10 minutes, but I use fast reducer on that, so it flashes off really well to the touch. I'm using this new guns. Well, I don't know if they're new. I don't even know if they're out. But this company reached out to me. They're Auto. It's called Auto, like the name Auto, and Auto Sprayer. And I've been trying them out. This is I don't think you can get these out. They're great guns. Few little glitches in here and there that I've been giving them feedback on. But they're good guns. A bit on the heavy side. The spray pattern is great. I was really happy with the spray pattern. I love trying out new guns because I don't think that, there's only one best thing out there. I think that whatever works for you, whatever's within your budget, is what you should get. Obviously, as you have been seeing, I've been using the Welcomes a lot, and there's a few reasons why that I won't get into here. But I like them as a company. And they've created a really good product, and I'm happy to work with them, really. So putting on one light coat. As you can see, I didn't get full coverage, and that's what you want in your first coat. You want to kind of put on that little bed. Okay, I know I've showed you guys before different ways of spraying. But the lowering down to 15 psi and hammering it on works for me, and I love doing that because I have the blowers and I have the booth, so I can get the air movement that I need to be able to flash the base coat. So, but if you're doing this I would recommend the way that PPG recommends, which is the one light coat and then followed by a medium wet coat, and if you need another one, followed by a medium wet coat. But these bumpers took a few coats to cover, so I think all the jobs took 3 coats to cover, and I wanted to make sure that this was completely covered, because you don't want the car to go in the sun and be transparent and you can see the primer and stuff underneath. I'm honored when a subscriber decides to bring their car to the shop. Like I try my best to do the best job that I can. Sometimes I fail, but I do try my best, and just like these videos, I do try my best to hopefully make you learn something or help you learn something, even if it's something about life. I'm not that old, but I've realized some things along the way. Like I got a friend of mine, Robbie, if you're listening, he goes, what was he saying? Oh, he was having issues with the sealer not laying down and this and that, and I just gave him a simple tip, like just raise your pressure. And then he goes, oh man, why am I even painting this and that? And I'm like, hey, get used to that feeling, because you're gonna feel that every day pretty much as a painter. And I feel like a lot of painters go through that. You something goes wrong and you just feel like crap. You're wondering why you painting, or you're wondering like, oh, when am I gonna get fired when everybody realizes I'm not that great? And those are things that I think about all the time. So I'm checking coverage here. I noticed there's a little bit of transparency there on the fender, and so the car has 2 coats. So the last coat is gonna do completely coverage. Even there, I think nobody would ever notice that it wasn't 100% covered, but I noticed, so I put it on another coat. Bumper looks good. Funny, because when you turn off the lights on black and you put the light on it, it looks like it's metallic. It's kind of a trip. So we're putting it on, so you can see I'm probably about 6-8 inches, probably about 8 inches away, and I'm just moving, right? You never see me stop without letting go of the trigger. I don't like to walk my cars because I'm a bumpy walker. So when I walk, I do like a lot of bumps. And so you can see, I'm pretty consistent when it comes to spraying it like this, and I feel like I have more control. I only paint as far as my arms can go, and it's been working out pretty good for me. I've been painting for probably 12 years now, and I'm 31. I think I'm 31. So I'm using EC520 for this Mustang. I really enjoy this clear, because when you have a 2-panel, 3-panel job, I don't use it on top surfaces, but I use it on sides and stuff like that, because it's got a great shine. Now this clear coat is a bit tricky. You need to let it flash properly, and that means not letting it flash for too long. If you let it flash for more than 5 minutes, you might run into problems. You're better off not baking it at all. But I let this flash for about 4 minutes. Actually, like 3 minutes and a half, I would think is the sweet spot. But no more than 5 minutes, so 5 minutes tops. And then you put 2 medium wet coats. And I'm using my Welcome HTE Clear 1.3. This gun is freaking amazing. It uses a lot less material than the Awada did, and that's good for business. I do have these guns, the HT Clear and the HT Base, on my website. I wanted to, offer it to some of the guys that don't have access to these guns. I was able to put together a package, which is the only way I could sell them. And they have motivated painters laser engraved on them, and they're really cool. I've sold a few of them, and I've yet to get any complaints from anyone, so I'm really happy with the guns. And you know what, the other day a friend of mine told me like, oh, I tried this and it worked that you taught. And I said, yeah, man, because I wouldn't show you guys something that doesn't work. It makes no sense to me. I have nothing to gain from that, and I have nothing to gain from showing you stuff that doesn't work. So I try my best to, show you what works, and I try to keep the junk out of here. And I just, my whole purpose here is to add value to the painter. That's been my purpose since day one. Add value to the painter, because we all feel down sometimes. We all feel like we're not doing enough, or this and that, or we don't get the recognition that we think we deserve, and it's just frustrating sometimes. So I just wanted to make some videos to help painters out. So 2 medium wet coats is what I'm doing on this Mustang, and I did a 20-minute bake at 120 degrees Fahrenheit, I think. 20 degrees, yeah, something like that. But yeah, 20 degrees at 120. That's all you need to know. And 20 minutes at 120. And it works really well. Holds the shine. If you bake it too hot, it literally just goes flat. So it's something to be careful with this clear coat. But I generally really enjoy it. I think it's a really good clear coat. I enjoy it. And it's faster, so with 530 you would wait 10 minutes in between coats, and then having to do a half an hour bake. So in a small job like this worked amazing. I barely had to polish this job, but there was a few dirt nibs in the back bumper and the front bumper, but the side just turned out beautiful, and I was so happy with it. I wasn't able to catch a video of it after, but anyways, as you can see, I'm doing about 6 inches away from the panel, right? And I'm going past that, past the where it meets to the fender to the door, because you don't want to have build-up there. So that's something that is pretty useful. Go past the seam where the panels meet, and then when you do the other side, don't go to the seam, right? Go to where you finished. It's fairly simple. It just you realize you're gonna completely realize this as you're spraying that just stay away from the seam so much, because then you won't have any buildup. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm probably not making any sense, but yeah. So I was super happy with this job, and I'm trying to think of how much paint I mixed, but I don't remember. But obviously always start with the edges of the bumpers and stuff, and then work on the face, because then you just let the overspray fall into the edges. I want to remind you that I have different sorts of playlists. I have a white pearl playlist, I have a complete playlist, I have a matte finish playlist. I encourage you guys to go check it out. I think that I've made lots of videos. I think I've made over 200 and some videos. I don't keep track anymore, but they might be useful. I think that from the feedback that I've gotten, my videos have helped some people, and that makes me happy. That's why I make them. I don't make them to make money or anything like that, but I just hope that it helps some painters out. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If I don't tell you, you probably won't do it, but subscribe, and it would be awesome if you could share this video. If you're on Instagram, give me a follow at Motivated Painters. And there's some cool videos I put on Instagram. I really enjoy making them. I usually do time lapses and all kinds of things there. Like it's a fun place to be at. And then sometimes sometimes I do giveaways. Sometimes I do live streams and stuff like that, which are always fun. And yeah, I hope to see you there. And yeah. really busy at work, and that's why I haven't made as much videos as I could. But you know, I gotta do my job, right? That's my job, and that's what I do. I'm a painter, like a lot of you guys, in a production shop. So we do about, I probably paint anywhere from 5 to 15 cars a day, 15 jobs, right? Like one of these. And you know, I'm non-stop. I like to go in early, and one of the reasons why I like to go in early is because my wife's sleeping and she can't miss me while she's sleeping. So I don't like work to cut into my personal time, you know, in the afternoon. That's just the way I look at it. Some people like to work late. Sometimes I do work late. I've been working, you know, a couple of hours late lately because of the amount of work that we have. It's been a little crazy. So I don't know if you guys saw a video of me painting, like a day of painting. If you haven't, just look through my videos there. It's a couple weeks ago, and it was cool because I was able to show you what I do during the day. I'll make another one. I don't know if there's any interest in that, but I can make another one and show you guys what I do. So I take you through each job that I do. Yeah. So hopefully you enjoy that, and thank you, Matthew. That's Matthew there with his ride. Much love. God bless you. Peace out.